Hey, what's going on, everybody? Screen Rant put out a top 15 villain list, and we're gonna break it down, tell you what we think about it. Hit that intro, Rangers.
You are watching the fan club.
You're watching the fan club.
And you're watching the fan club. Do you know what time it is?
And you know what time it is.
It's time for the fan club. Let's go. Hey!
I can't do this on my own, cause you know things ain't always sweet when you out here in these streets. But my morpher when it morphed, I made a fake one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the fan club. It is your boy, Dan Brosnan, in the building. Welcome to the show. We hope you guys are having an amazing day. In this video, we are going to be breaking down a newly published list from Screen Rant. There's not a lot of Power Rangers news, but these lists are always fun, and it's exciting and interesting to look at some of these big entertainment companies and see what their creators are thinking when it comes to Power Rangers. You know, we're the Power Ranger guys over here. We talk about it all the time, but I always think it is a good thing when the Power Rangers are being talked about on these big websites. It's good for the brand, no matter if they're talking good or bad. Now, this is the 15 best Power Ranger villains ranked. Let's get right into it and see what they're going to say. It looks like they're going to rank it off of the storyline, like how good of a character it is. But let's see, all right? So they show all of the seasons. That's kind of nice, man. They've got your breakdown. You got your Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo in Space, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD, Mystic Force, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, RPM, Samurai, Mega Force, Dino Charge, Ninja Steel, Beast Morphers, Dino Fury, and Cosmic Fury. These are all the seasons that they took into account when they looked at villains. So getting right into it, at number 15, they have Queen Bansheera. We like Queen Bansheera over here. She was pretty cool. I'll read a couple lines from their write-up. Queen Bansheera did not appear much in Lightspeed Rescue, but her presence set the narrative for the series. I agree, she was a fun character. I can't lie. Queen Bansheera was a bad lady, all right? I don't think they started off on a bad note. That's actually pretty decent, all right? Number 15, Queen Bansheera, not the best, not the worst. Okay, Dark Spectre at number 14. I get this, and they even title it, Dark Spectre could have been Power Rangers' greatest villain. I don't think they did it completely correct, and he was just destroyed by the in-house villains, so really how powerful was he type thing? Like, he was super powerful, but we never got to really see his true nature at its peak. We saw the Malagor suit in Turbo, and I thought that was a lot more scarier and more badass. I mean, he even fought the Turbo Megazord. Dark Spectre was a recycling of the suit, but they still could have made the storyline better. So I understand why they put him here, but super cool villain. He was probably one of the only critiques from the In Space season that I wish they could have made a change or two, but still pretty good villain. Then at 13, they got Goldar. I understand why they put Goldar in this list. He's one of the most iconic villains, and they said Goldar was a great villain before he turned into a joke. You know what? I understand that, because the first about 1 to 2 seasons, he was actually pretty badass. He was always fighting Jason alone or fighting the Green Ranger. He was even pissed off one time that Rita was making Tommy kind of the second in command and doing all the dirty work because he wanted to destroy the Rangers. Like, he was bad. And then by season 3 or 4, this article's right, he was kind of more of a comedy character, kind of like Squat and Babu, but we did see him resurrected in Beast Morphers, and that was pretty cool. At number 12, they put Void Queen. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I didn't think she was going to make this list, and I guess I'm going to see what they did, and then I'll kind of go back and critique and change the things. I'm kind of interested in what Screen Rant is doing, and they're not doing a horrible job right now. Little surprised by Void Queen, but let's read a little bit about this. Void Queen caused the Red Ranger to sacrifice himself. Yeah, she was pretty bad. Like, she was a baddie for sure. Void Queen is a relatively recent Power Rangers villain from Dino Fury. While Dino Fury introduced Void Knight as the show's main antagonist, it was later revealed that Tarek was just trying to bring his wife back from a coma. Yeah, there was a really good story here. So he was trying to bring her back, accidentally corrupted her with some sporix. When she returned to her regular form, she was evil, wanted more power. It was pretty crazy. So you know what? Putting her in this list isn't that far-fetched because it sounds like they're going off of your story here. You're going off of not only how much of a baddie they are in the storyline, but how cool of a storyline do they have? Or are they just basic? It's interesting. So, I was just thinking, then how far does that put Rita up? So she didn't even make the top 10. They put Rita Repulsa at number 11. And they put her on the list, obviously, because she is iconic, but because she was in the first few seasons and they didn't have the writing and the storytelling kind of worked out perfectly, they brought her all the way down. So this list is all about the story. If we're gonna get down here, I can already tell who's gonna be in the top 3. I have a feeling type things. This isn't bad though. At least they're being consistent, okay? Rita Repulsa, you could say she's a top 5 villain. She was there. She's OG. She's legendary. But I don't think she was the most powerful. There were plenty other villains that were more powerful, and there were plenty other villains that had a better story. So yes, Screen Rant is going to put you at 11. Dang, that makes me feel bad though. I think Rita could have made the top 10. What are your thoughts? Whoa, they put Ollie at number 10. Like, wow. See, I don't really consider a lot of the Rangers who were only like villains for like a few episodes really fully a villain, but I guess Ollie was a villain for 10 episodes. So you know what? Let's throw him in there. What is their thought? Evil Blue Ranger Ollie elevated Cosmic Fury. Oh, he did for sure. Definitely. But he wasn't the most effective. Like, he was the best villain of that kind of season. Besides, like, him and Zedd were awesome. But he didn't really, like, stop the Rangers too much. They kept finding a way to stop him. Obviously, it was a team of Rangers versus one Ranger and a bunch of villains. But I don't know. He made the top 10, huh? I love Ollie. I think he's great, but when I think of Power Ranger villains, I don't even really think of Ollie as a Power Ranger villain. He was a Ranger most of the time, but he became a villain for 10 episodes. Wow, that's an interesting one. I guess this is the first one that I don't agree on, is putting Ollie in the top 10 Power Ranger villains. A little crazy to me, a little bit of a reach, Screen Rant. I don't even know if I would have put him in the actual list. Let's go on. We got Zenaku. Wow, see, I thought they would have put a character like this even higher because he had a really cool story. Zenaku made for one of the best Power Ranger stories, right? He wasn't the most powerful, but he was definitely a powerful character and then turned into the 6th Ranger. Okay. I thought he would go a little bit higher, but 9, that's cool. I'm not against it. It's the top 10. At number 8, they got Trakina, and I understand why. They said Trakina's ambition knew no limits. And when she got into that bug form, man, it was over. Trakina was crazy. She was not only super powerful by the end, but she was just a nasty person towards the end. After her father passed, she was just batshit crazy. She was tying explosives on to the Stingwingers and having them fly onto the Megazords, with sacrificing her own, like, army. It was insane. So putting her in the top 10, I'm cool with that. We can agree on that. I actually like most of this list. There's a few things I don't fully agree on, but Hey, Astronema at number 7. I like Astronema, and she was an actual villain for the full season. She was just an awesome character and one of my favorites. I would have put her up a slot or two, but Astronema at 7 is solid. I'm not going to freak out too much. White Ranger Trent, y'all put in Power Rangers that were evil for like a few episodes in the top all-time villains. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was so legendary. Like, I fully get it. Wow. That's ballsy. You're putting him in the top 6. Damn. Like, yeah. Astronema's done dirty here. Like, I would definitely put her above Trent, the White Dino Thunder Power Ranger. That's twice now that they got... Wow, so they have to have Tommy on here up at the top or something, because they're going, wow, I don't even know what to say here. It's not that I don't like Trent. He's one of my favorite White Rangers, one of my favorite Dino Thunder characters. I just didn't really consider him a villain. Like, he's an evil ranger. Like, he was a short-term villain. He came into the story good. He came out of the story when it was all done good. There was a small period where he was evil, just like Tommy and Cat and other Rangers, but to put them in a top 10 villain, top 6 all-time villain, that's ballsy, Screen Rant. It's probably my only big gripes with you guys is you're just, wow, you're putting Rangers as top 6 villains, huh? I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I being a little bit too critical? Are they reaching? Let me know. They got Zedd at number 5, huh? Okay, that's low for me. Lord Zedd is a top 3 villain. Like, wow. Putting Zedd in the top 5 is good, but top 3 all day for me. This is a little crazy. Their list is a little wonky, man. I'm not gonna lie. Lord Zedd had us all shaking in our boots when we were kids. Like, he was scary. He gave us nightmares. And then he returned for Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury 2. Dude is a beast, man. And then at number 4, well, of course, they're going to give us another Power Ranger. Is this the third freaking Ranger to make an all-time villain list? Now, I'm not going to shit on them so much because the Green Ranger was iconic, and even though Tommy didn't necessarily start out evil right away, once he was under the spell of Rita, he was badass. And the first time we saw the Green Ranger, he was evil, kicking the Rangers out of the Megazord. It was freaking crazy. So you know what? Putting him here based off the way that they grade their list totally makes sense. I don't know if I put him on my villain list, though, but if there were any Rangers that I would do that to, it would probably be him because it was so iconic, and when he was evil, he was super evil. Ollie, even though he was in 10 episodes, I don't know if I would put him on this list. I for sure wouldn't have put Trent on this list. That's a little crazy, but let's go look at their top 3. This is just their opinion, so you can't go on them too bad. Okay, Psycho Rangers at number 3. I'm not against that. The Psycho Rangers were only in Power Rangers in space for 5 or 6 episodes, but man, did they leave their mark. They were freaking nuts. I love the way that they could sense the Rangers, track the Rangers, knew all their moves before they made them. They were some of the best villains ever and the best team of villains. They were scary, and then they came back in Lost Galaxy and Psycho Pink destroyed Kendricks. Yes, I'm not going to disagree there. Putting Psycho Rangers in the top 3, I get it. I would have probably put Zedd in the top 3 over the Psycho Rangers, but that's okay. And then they put Mesogog, huh? See, they're going all about the story here. I actually think the character design and villain are nuts. I approve and like it, but my buddy Tyler that does a lot of posts on the Facebook page, he hates Mesogog's look. He thinks it's the most annoying villain out of all of them, but hey, everyone's got their favorites. Everybody doesn't. I like Mesogog, though. He's crazy. Putting him at 2 is a reach for me. He's got a great story. He's pretty powerful, but I don't know. I would have put Zedd above Mesogog for sure. So number one, huh? Who's going to be number one? I have a feeling I know, but let's check it out. Rancic. I knew it. It's all about the story for these guys, and I'm cool with Rancic being number one. It was true to who they were. They went with a lot of backstories, a lot of Rangers, but in the end, a true villain was at number one. Ruthless villain, but he had a compelling backstory like it says in the article here. His villain arc was pretty nuts. He wasn't evil, he was a mutant, but the world was so cruel to him, he eventually snapped and wanted to destroy everything. And this was one of those villains that even though he was bad and you knew he was doing wrong, you could still relate to him in some ways. They made him a good villain. I love this character, man. What are your thoughts about this list? Now let's go back and kind of see what we would do here, because there are some villains here that I feel like aren't getting any love. Like She was crazy. What about Vengeance? What about Evox? Those are a few. Those are two right away that I would have loved to see. The fact that they put Mesogog on the list, but not Grum is a little weird. I can't get over the fact that they didn't give any love to Beast Morphers or RPM. Talk about two amazing villains that are basically just one, right? They didn't talk about Mystic Force. They didn't talk about Turbo or Zeo, which you can hate on Divatox all you want, but she was the only one to actually defeat the Rangers. How do you not put Divatox on this list, but you have 3 Power Rangers on the list? That's crazy to me. Yes, there are a few things here, and I'm not mad. I'm just a little passionate about what we talk about. You don't put Lord Zedd in the top 3. You don't put Astronema in the top 5. I mean, this is crazy. And no Master Org either. Yeah, there's definitely some awards to go out for people that got robbed. The Machine Empire got robbed. You have Divatox that got robbed. She defeated the Power Rangers. You got Master Org got robbed. You got Vengeance / Evox. I thought She was one of the coolest villains in Power Rangers history, and they don't even talk about that character. And this is supposed to be a list based off of the story, it looks like, right? I get they don't show any love to Samurai or Megaforce or Dino Charge or Ninja Steel, but you thought they would have showed a little bit of love for Beast Morphers, or just give love to RPM, which would have given love to Beast Morphers because it's the same villain. But wow, when I actually went back and looked at a lot of these characters they missed, they're sleeping, man. And maybe these lists are harder than you think because there's so many characters and only 15 slots, but I would have removed the Power Rangers. I think there's like 4 or 5 characters that got swindled in this, that got slept on, and they could have addressed the situation if they just removed the Power Rangers from the all-time villain list. A little crazy to me, but I like these type of videos. Shout out Screen Rant for doing these. I'm not hating. This is just my opinion and how I feel as a Power Ranger fan. It's totally cool. If you feel the same way as me, or if you like their list, let me know. What is your list? Do you disagree with both of us? Let us know in the comments who is your all-time favorite, or give us your top 10 villains, top 15, whatever you want to do. Let us hear it in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Peace. I just want to give a special shout out to the Gold Ranger members out there: the Arctic Operator, Roderick Ham, Papleon Purple, Salima Ramirez, Danny Nascimento, Stephen Heffelman, Chaos Draco, Thomas Franco, Anime King Nick, Louis Cairns, Miguel Ortiz, and Sean Schiffer. Thank you guys so much for your support, and if you want a video shout out like this one, sign up to be a Gold Ranger member today. I just want to shout out all of the fans out there for taking the time out of their day to watch this content. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you can, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit that share button. And if you guys want to be a member, click that join button right now. We have a Blue Ranger membership that gets you into the exclusive fan chat Discord. Then we have have the Gold Ranger membership. It gets you into the fan chat, but you also get a video shout out at the end of every video. I want to thank you guys again. If you can, sign up to be a member. We will see you next time. Peace.
Hi, we're Bulk and Skull. We have been requested by the fan club to say something funny.